What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we are doing another song that was commented under one of the more recent songs we did. It is another song by Billie Eilish. It was a song that they said it's a really good one to react to. This song is called TV. This is the official lyric video. Let's jump right into it. Oh, I love the strumming. Sounds familiar.
I don't wanna talk right now.
I think I heard this on TikTok.
I just wanna watch TV. I'll stay in the pool and drown, so I don't have to watch you leave.
Alright, so kind of something jumping right out at me right away is avoidance. Avoidance seems to be kind of the thing, like avoidance of pain. And that's a really difficult thing when someone who's been through traumatic events, someone tends to avoid pain or best they can, and that typically creates distance or disconnection in between individuals. And it's hard to help an individual kind of process that, just because their avoidance is so strong. They want to focus so harshly on like avoiding suffering altogether, and unfortunately suffering is one of like the guarantees in life. You will suffer, and it's really all about either one, basing it in reality therapy, that hey, this is the reality of the situation, or two, kind of going the reframing route, like what's beautiful about the situation. Like it's all about like how you kind of perceive the world, like a loved one leaving. You can go a few different ways when it comes to reframing, but it's like, how can you reframe it in a positive light? Just try. And then once you really have that down, you can really start helping your client again process those things and reframe those things in more positive light, because again, it's all about how we see, and it's all about perspective, and allowing an individual to create different perspectives for themselves will allow them to stop maybe avoiding pain and suffering and realize that the reason you can feel this low, the reason you can feel this bad, sad, angry, whatever, the only reason you can feel that is because you felt such high positives before to compare it to. It's all a comparison game when it comes to emotions and experiences. So I think that's really interesting right now, especially enough to drown in the pool, just to avoid watching somebody leave. There's some attachment stuff going on, it seems like, too, regardless if it's romantic or whatever, but attachment definitely seems to be a theme as well.
I just wanna watch TV. I'll stay in the pool and drown, so I don't have to watch you leave. I put on Survivor just to watch somebody suffer. Maybe I should get some sleep.
So back to what I was saying, it's that suffering. They want to see somebody else because they feel as though they want to either maybe see that connection that I'm suffering, I want to see somebody else suffer, or it's kind of like I'd rather watch somebody else suffer than have to feel my own thoughts really big, really, or feel my own feelings as well. So really, really parallel dynamics happening.
Sinking in the sofa wall, they all betray each other. What's the point of anything?
A little bit of existentialism going on.
All of my friends are missing again. That's what happens when you fall in love. You don't have the time, you leave them all behind. You tell yourself yourself, it's fine, you're just in love.
So she said something along the lines of all my friends are missing and like it's used to it, but it's like you say you're fine, you're just in love. Maybe there's a disconnect about like the person that they love versus like the isolation that maybe comes with the relationships and not continuing on or having that social component in your support systems no longer. And it's really difficult. And I see that a lot when individuals get so captivated by their relationship that they um, no longer participate in social things or they start pulling away. It's very just, it can be isolating and then it can be very detrimental to mental health. Just because, again, we need that social aspect. And although your person can be everything, they can't be responsible for filling every hierarchy of need. That's just not possible. No one human can do that for everybody. Everybody needs to be well rounded in all components of their life. And sometimes that happens though. And if that happens and you recognize that that's happening to you, go talk to somebody. They can help you realize things like that more. Or a young therapist. It's really difficult when you recognize this and telling them that like, hey, like you're making the decision to step away from individuals, your social supports, or all these things. Like, where is this isolation stemming from? So, yeah.
Don't know where you are right now. Did you see me on TV? I'll try not to starve myself just because you're mad at me. And I'll be in denial for at least a little while. What about the plans we made?
So, one, she was talking about starving herself. So, that kind of jumps out to me that there was a form of control that she wanted, a form of control in the way that sometimes life feels uncontrollable and there's things going on, and then sometimes we reflect on what we can control to ourselves, and sometimes it's a form of self-harm, and that's just, again, something to be cautious of. It may, for a young therapist, it may not be for end of life scenarios. It might just, again, just be for control, and working with harm reduction can be a very um, good form or good theory to kind of work with through that, because trying to get them to stop completely, or individuals to stop when it comes to that, is just very difficult right off bat. So a form of self-harm reduction is probably is a way that I've gone in the past and I've seen positives come from it. Eating habits are difficult, but it's helping them bridge that gap in that relationship, even with food. It's all relationships, avoidance, and suffering seems to be the pretty much main dynamic here. And then the other thing she said, what about the plans we made? I'll be in denial. Oh, I'll be in denial at least for a little while. What about the plans we made? So that makes me think like she's grieving a relationship, like the relationship's now over, because being in denial is one of the 5 stages of grieving. So that's where my brain's kind of currently at the moment.
The internet's gone wild, watching movie stars on trial while they're overturning Roe v. Wade. And now,
So yeah, it's just like I think she's now just kind of like reflecting existentially about like the horrific things that people are like focusing on and stuff, and like the overturning of Roe v. Wade is just like such a pivotal component in political atmosphere when it comes to the advocacy of women's reproductive rights, and just everything there. It's just like how far we've kind of gone away from that and how far we've kind of regressed as a society. And again, like with your political beliefs are allowed to be yours and stuff. But as a therapist, I'm always for the advocacy of everyone's rights and never anything being taken away, regardless of others' affiliations and beliefs. I'm all for the advocacy of people bringing people up, especially women. And it's just horrific that some of the things that we've seen happen in today's political atmosphere that have just taken us back and have been just not beneficial, have just been steps back, in my opinion, for the progression of just reproductive rights and there's rights in general for women and discriminated populations. So it's just hard to say, but and I believe she is pretty much an activist when it comes to that stuff, and rightfully so. Like, it's just, how can you not be? Right.
All of my friends are missing again, 'cause that's what happens when you fall in love. You don't have the time, you leave them all behind, and you tell yourself it's fine, you're just in love. And I don't get along with anyone. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem.
So this is a good thing. This self-reflection is positive. I would work with the individual to reframe this, because there's another way to say maybe I'm the problem. And if you think about it, I'm going to give you a second to go type in the comments. What do you think? What do you think how a therapist would reframe this? Because this has a negative connotation. This is negative self-talk. You done typing? All right. I would reframe this as, maybe I have things to work on. Maybe I need to work on the relationship with myself. Maybe I'm not seeing... Maybe I need to reflect on my values. Because those are more growth. Those are more growth-oriented. As opposed to this is just negative self-talk. This is bring your self-esteem down. This will bring your self-confidence down. Maybe I'm the problem. But with every problem, there's a solution. Right? If there's a problem, there is a solution. So if I'm the problem, I know a solution. There has to be a solution for me. So it can be kind of, not confidence, it can be motivational to grow. We're all growing constantly. You should always be focusing and driving to growth. It's just this journey that we kind of all take, and it's just important to do those things. So that's the way I would reframe it. Were you guys close? Did you guys have some creative thoughts? I'd be curious. I can't wait for this video to come out.
Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe baby, I'm a problem.
And here it's a statement now. It's not a question. Maybe I'm the problem. Baby, I'm the problem. That's a statement. That's, again, it can be positive. It doesn't always have to be negative. Maybe it isn't a positive self life, but typically I've had people say similar things, and it was very much like, I'm the problem. I'm never gonna be okay. It was a very blanketed statement of just negative self talk. So that's why I kind of reflect on that. But I know that not all the time, because it could just be a reflection. Like, hey, I need to work on myself. I need to do me for a little bit, and that's good. Good. And if your person or your friends or social, like, if they're able to reflect on that and support you through that, awesome. But again, finding that relationship with yourself is so important. It's so important. And I know all therapists there, I wish all therapists were just good at helping you kind of with that, but talking to somebody can help, and really listening. Even if you think they're like not a good therapist, there's broken clocks right two times, right? That's how that saying goes. But I really like this song. I've heard this song partially. I've heard like snippets of it on TikTok, but it's a really good one. I really like this one. I like this one better than the other song. Definitely more themes jumping out at me, especially avoidance, suffering, and reflection, partially. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think down below. Make sure you like this video. That helps me out, this small content creator. And make sure you're subscribed. I need you to be subscribed if you're not. Please, it just helps me. It just, again, helps me grow, helps others see me, helps others kind of come across my page. And I appreciate all the support I've gotten up until this point. Thank you all. If you are subscribed, if you do all those things, I appreciate you. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next video.